Hi, this is Justin from AC Hamilton in Preston. Now, all my life I've been mistaken for Jason, but today I'm actually with a real Jason. This is Jason from Headline Audio, the UK distributors for Nord, and we're here with this Nord Grand 2. And I love the Nord Grand 1 or the Nord Grand. So, can you tell us all about the Nord Grand 2? What's different?
Yeah, of course. So the Grand 2 have literally doubled the feature set from the Grand 1. So now we've got 2 layers of piano, we've got 2 layers of sample synth to playback, and then each one of those 4 layers has got its own independent effects processor as well. Right. So you can create some incredibly dynamic layered patches there. Also, in terms of storage space, we've got double what we had on the Grand as well. So we've got 2 gigabytes of memory for the piano, and we've got 1 gigabyte of memory for the sample synth. Along for that, there's many other features as well, which you can see on our website, headlineaudio.com, or Nord's website. In addition to that, there's a new unison feature on there. It comes loaded now with some of the string samples from Spitfire Audio.
Yeah, I've heard those. Yeah.
So really, for the full feature set, if you check out headlineaudio.com or nordkeyboards.com, and then there's a page on this great new keyboard, and it'll take you through all of those features.
Yeah, so for the more simple people out there like myself, why are some of those things important? So why is it important that, like, for example, the sample memory is double?
Because there's, one of the great features of Nord keyboards are there is a ton of additional sounds available on Nord's website, nordkeyboards.com. These sounds are free to all Nord users. Nord believe that once you've paid the upfront cost of the keyboard, all of these sounds should be made free of charge to the users. So you can literally empty the memory of this out, if you like, and then just carry on installing all of the sounds that you like from Nord's website and really customise the instrument for what you want.
Sure, and of course it'll be the size of these samples, won't it, that will have an impact on what you can load into it. And then the fact you've got 2 layers now, because obviously the Nord Grand is always going to be for somebody who is just wanting a great piano, first and foremost. So quite a simple thing. But why is it important that we have, 2 layers of pianos, 2 layers of synth? Why is that a good thing for somebody who just wants a good piano?
I guess, Nord's a company that listens to its customers, so I guess they've been asked about it so many times, they've just decided to expand that layering. So in that sense, it takes it much closer to the functionality of the Stage 4 now.
Yeah.
If you don't want to use it, that's absolutely fine, but the versatility of being able to layer 2 different pianos together, so say a grand piano, but you can layer that with a Wurlitzer, or you can layer it with a clav, whatever you want to sort of put on there. And then you can add, say, strings to that, you can add brass to that. And I guess Nord just feel that that's an important feature.
Yeah, because on the old one I used to have like just a piano and then a nice string sound blended with it, but then I wanted to mix a pad with it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do.
Now you can.
So now I can just, it's just having an extra slider that you can just grab and add in an extra sound that you couldn't do before. So in a sense, having those 4 sliders makes it simpler rather than harder.
Another feature on this one, you can see that they've sloped the control panel back slightly as well, because Nord at the end of the day it is still a performance instrument. So the reason the controls are laid out this way is so everything is available and it's nearby. So you can just grab that, you can fade one of the sounds out, you can add reverb, you can do whatever you want, and it's all just at the touch of a button, which is right next to the keyboard. So
yeah, and then the effects thing. So why is that? So now there's a lot more control, isn't there, with effects? A lot more you can do. So what were the limitations before with the effects?
The advantages of having an effects processor per layer. So now we can say set up a grand piano, say with one kind of reverb on it. We can EQ it differently. We can put a different delay on it, different compression, whatever you want to add. And then that second piano, say we put a Rhodes on that, but we want to really compress that so it doesn't take over from the grand piano. So we can set up different compression on that. If you want a shorter, say a room reverb on that to make it sort of fall away from the grand sound as you're playing it. And likewise in the sample synth section as well, you're going to want to put different effects onto strings than you are onto a piano.
Sure.
So yeah, independent 4 processors across 4 of those layers just means that you can set up patches with all of those sounds working completely independently from each other, and we think that's really important.
The great thing is in the presets, a lot of that's done, isn't it? So a lot of the sounds, it's using the 4 sections, it's using the different effects for each section. So you can just work off the presets, and somebody who actually knows what they're doing has actually done it all for you to sound great, because you can use that as a template, as a starting point, and you can just tweak from there, so you're not having to do the whole thing. You're starting from a good point. What I've always liked about the Nord Grand is, well, number one, obviously, the quality of the sound, the quality of the piano sound mainly, and obviously how it feels. So we want a great piano and a great feel, and that's what the Nord Grand always gave me. But some other interesting things that I always like the fact that the buttons want to rise, maybe as you're getting older. You don't want to be having to do this looking at a flat panel. So I've always liked that you've got the knobs and buttons on a rise. It's just easier, it just is. I've always liked the fact that when we're playing it at home, the best sound is through monitors. But normally when we have products that we're using monitors, we've got this, great big stands and monitors stuck on top and the wires going from. It's just the fact that you can add these brackets to the back of the piano and get a great sound without taking up half the living room, so that was always a great benefit. And the fact that, although it is kind of a home instrument, it's also really portable. It's surprising me, it looks very chunky, but when you pick it up, it's only roughly about 20 kilograms, something, just over that. It's doable, you can actually walk around sensibly with it. 2 people, it's absolutely a piece of cake. So, and you've got a bag, haven't you now?
Yeah, the gig bag for the Nord Grand, as with the Stage 88, because of the weight of the keyboard, is a trolley bag. So yeah, once you're in and out of your car, you can just grab the handle and the wheels will just allow you to pull that into the venue.
Yeah. So, you know, I've got a customer, for instance, who's a tremendous piano player, but he also does gigs. And there's always been this problem that, you know, what he takes on the gig is different to what he has at home. But here, you can have something that looks great in the home, but if you want to gig with it, it's perfectly doable to gig with it. So that's a great feature of the Nord Grand, and just the simplicity of it and the quality of it. And now I'm just blown away with, especially, you know, we've always liked piano and strings has been always a classic combination, but it's always been a bit scratchy, you know, with the strings when you blend in two sounds together. So yeah, just the first time I played it today was just blown away by, you know, mixing the piano with strings, and we've got these new Spitfire quintet samples, and they just sound amazing with the piano. And what we've actually done as well is put an expression pedal, so that it will just control. You can bring in the string section in and out easily without having to take your hand off and touch these dials. So that's, I mean, I'd just buy it just for that. It was piano and strings, the best piano and strings I've ever heard. So that for me, you know, sells it. Okay, so this is the sound that really inspired me when I first played the Nord Grand 2. So we've got just a great piano, of course, with the beautiful action. This is the White Grand, and then we've got these gorgeous string quintet samples in these two sliders here, layer A and B, in this sample synth section. Now what's cool is, you know, normally there can be a bit sort of like that, so you've got this great little thing here, decay release, so we can just get a nice bit of release on it. We can do the same for the other one, rather than it being like that. So we've got a nice bit of release. Then we've got an expression pedal, and set the expression pedal so that it's just going to bring these two faders up. So the piano's going to stay the same, but you can just bring in and out the strings. If you set that to a level, then the pedal's not going to go past that, so it's never going to go past where the sliders physically are. So that's quite a nice thing, so you keep it within the range that you want. So let's have a listen. So I used to, let's just talk about the action for a second. I used to think that, you know, good quality action was great. So no matter which make, good quality action is just a good, you just get used to the action, don't you? But the Nord Grand, the original Nord Grand, was the first one actually that made me think, you know, it really does make a difference, because I always felt that I played better on this. So something about this Kawai action that I always felt was different, and I always felt that I enjoyed playing more with a Nord using this Kawai action than the other Nords without the Kawai action. So I'm glad to see we've kept the Kawai action. So is there anything different about it?
It's just a continued collaboration with Kawai. So this is their latest triple sensor hammer action. So it just, as with the Grand one, it just adds huge dynamic range across the entire keyboard.
I don't know what it is about it. It just feels better. I don't know. You're able to express yourself better than you do on other actions. I don't know.
I think so. I mean, actions are subjective, I think, but the Kawai one does seem to be a firm favourite with everybody that tries it. It's just a really, it's got such a realism to it, and as I say, it just increases that dynamism across the keyboard. We think it's fantastic.
Great.
You're right in what you were touching on there with the monitors. What these, you can see the brackets that are mounted on the keyboard. So the keyboard's pre-drilled for these monitors. So the brackets come with the speakers, and you just screw that into the back of the keyboard with some thumb screws. You don't need a screwdriver or anything else. And you can see that the angle that these are mounted at is quite strange. It's not like having monitors just on a stand pointing straight at you. The way that these are angled, and you just fine-tune it by just turning them to that centre spot where you're going to be sitting playing this piano at home. You want to be sat right in the centre with both of these speakers pointing at your face, and you're right in the perfect sweet spot for any stereo effect then. So say if you've got a Rhodes piano on, with some delay ping-ponging around or a tremolo or something like that, you get this three-dimensional sort of sound going all the way around you, and we don't believe you get that with any other home piano. This is unique to the
It's really important that, because it's the experience of, and this is what you don't get on the video. So you watch all these videos and you're just hearing, because the sound's coming straight into the camera, so you're not actually really getting the experience of being sat in the middle of this immersive sound.
You've just got to come down to AC Hamilton.
It's true that if you're on the videos, you're not getting that sound, which is really what you're paying for. You know.
It is. I mean, it's so much of what people look for in home pianos, I think, is the aesthetic. I mean, we think this looks great. It's wildly different than a high gloss black or white piano or sort of whatever. But aside from the aesthetics, the sound is the most important thing to us. You know, Nord have famously got those sounds with that realism to them. I mean, you don't lose anything through these monitors. It's almost like playing it with headphones on. So, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't come through on a video, so you're just going to have to come down to AC Hamilton and try one out for yourself.
And for those of us who've maybe got a partner, you know, like myself, for example, I absolutely love playing the Nord, and I feel as though I play better actually on the Nord with this action. And we want this instrument, you know, at home to play on, but maybe we've got a partner that wants something that looks, you know, shiny like a piano. But you can't, no matter what you do, you can't replicate a sound that's as good as this, can you? Because you're having to build speakers, put speakers down here and build it into a cabinet. But it's never the same as this, is it? Not
angled in this way with the sounds. You can see we've got a small sort of bass driver there, and then the tweeters at the top. So you've got that full range sound coming at you. And a lot of digital pianos on the market at the moment, speakers are built into the bottom, projecting down towards the floor.
Absolutely.
Speakers are mounted on the shoulders, projecting straight upwards.
So they might look nice, but
exactly,
the actual experience of you sat in front of it playing it is just nowhere near.
Absolutely, it's really going to enable you to connect with those sounds and the instrument as a whole. Yeah,
absolutely.
I suppose last bit, but So as well as a home piano, you see we've got it set up on Nord's wooden stand there, which is obviously going to look great in the home. Not the most practical thing to sort of take on stage though.
Of course, yeah.
Nord also do something just called the Nord keyboard stand, which this is compatible with. So it just comes with two brackets that you mount on the bottom of the keyboard, and you can leave those brackets on while it's mounted on the wooden stand if you want to. If you have bought something to use in the home and on stage, you just take it off the wooden stand, leave that behind, and then you've just got four legs which fit into the gig bag. You just screw those on stage and you're ready to go in about 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, because I mean you might be at home playing at home for 90% of the time, but you might have 10 gigs a year or something.
Maybe.
And so that's great for that. You can just use it for both. It's there ready to go. You come back, it's just straight back onto the stand, a couple of screws and sorted.
Done. Anyway, I've actually injured my hand rescuing a kitten from a tree this morning, so, so you're going to have to do the playing, I'm afraid.
No worries, yeah. I'll give it a go. Right, let's crack on and let's hear some of these wonderful new sounds and samples.
Great.
And one last thing to say about our warranty. I believe we've got 5 years.
That's
warranty
right.
Now.
I work for Headline Audio in the UK. We're the exclusive distributor for Nord keyboards. We've decided to give a 5-year warranty away with all Nord keyboards sold. So you just pop onto headlineaudio.com. There's a portal on there to log your details and the serial number. You just do that when you buy a Nord keyboard, and you are covered for any mechanical failure over the next 5 years.
That's great, and of course we deal with those, so we'll organise all that for you. Well, thanks for bringing it in. Can you leave it with us?
No, I've got to take this one with me. There's only a couple in the country at the minute, but you're getting your stock in the next few weeks.
When we get them?
I think we are receiving the delivery on Monday next week, I think, so it's going to be the first week of July.
Right.
These are available.
Great. We'll try and keep one here and not sell one, I guess. Okay. Thanks,
Right.
Jay. All the best.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Cheers.